are back here at the GSL August, and we have sustained an injury here, Artosis.
What has happened,
I hit my funny bone like 10 seconds ago really hard. I don't know why they call it the funny bone. It's not funny. It should be called the alien pain bone. There's like nothing that feels quite like what this
my God!
This is actually, it's not funny. I'm just
the alien pain bone. That is perfect.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh.
It's, wow, I'm actually like in shock. That's so smart.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
exactly what it should be called.
Our map is Antigua Shipyard. God, this thing feels weird. And our players now. Ryung down 2 games. Julyzer up.
You know, it's actually called the humerus. That's why they call it the funny bone.
Really?
Yeah. And so I guess maybe we'd call it the Humorlon 5.
So you call it there's nothing
like
funny about
planet.
this bone?
Yeah.
All right. The countdown has started. Guess we're not going to get any camera time, Artosis.
Well, I'd rather look at these two handsome nerds.
They are.
Than you and I, because I look at you during the entire cast. I don't even look at the screen. I just guess what's going on.
The game is loading. Can Ryung come back? Or will Julyzer close us out with a 3-0? We're going to find out here as the game has now loaded up and the workers are being split. Get ready for some more awesome StarCraft 2 action here at the GSL August. In the upper right, our Terran, who I think Artosis agrees, thought was going to be pretty dominant in this series, now having a very hard time. He may be knocked out. We'll have to see. His name is Ryung. Down in the bottom right, starting location, our Zerg player, a legend, the God of War.
These guys have some good signs today.
I know. Sometimes people come in here and I see a sign, I'm like, what? What is that?
Yeah. Sometimes I just don't get it. Well, so far, July has made this match look like it was just another Ryung on the ladder up to the finals for him.
Ooh.
But hopefully this Ryung will break and July will fall.
Ooh. Whoa. So clever. Julyzer taking a peek here to check the gases. He will then send his overlord around to the back.
Well, Ryung has to be a little bit startled right now. He's getting owned, but Julyzer is the type of guy that you don't beat on your first go through.
No.
He could actually be playing professional tennis right now against a new professional tennis player that's never made it deep in the U.S. Open or something. And Julyzer would beat him 3-0 because unless you are a seasoned veteran of competition, Julyzer will beat you.
Oh, yeah.
He has the mindset for that.
He's the guy, give him a bow and arrow, all right?
Well, that one doesn't work. He's Korean. They're the best at that.
Oh, that's true. He is Korean there. They are the best. Koreans are the best at archery. Give him, let me see here.
You're like, give him a pair of ice speed skates. I'm like, no, tasteless. You're not. you're destroying this metaphor here. It's like, give him a StarCraft 1 game. No, tasteless. Tasteless. Please.
Jeez, guys.
Give him the most work hours in a work week. Tasteless.
Make him sleep the least.
Tasteless.
Tasteless, all right?
Give him a bowl of kimchi. Tasteless.
Oh, interesting build. Command center into Hellions.
Yeah, it's a good build. It's a standard build. But Julyzer is making a roach horn already. Kid don't have a lot of drones, tasteless.
Someone give this guy a bottle of wine. I heard that tastes pretty good with cheese.
Well, he'll snipe that with his queen.
You know, I bet when the queen hits you, it hits you like right on the very tip top.
I
of
was
your head.
just going to say something
so
about
bad.
that. Yeah.
It hurts.
I hate getting punked on the top of my head.
Like, ooh, like it does this weird thing to my skull.
I have a kind of funny shaped head. Top of my head. I don't know. It feels like I have like a forever little like crest or something. Little bump or something.
You got like a little stegosaurus bump up there.
No,
what's going on?
Not like that, Tasteless.
All right, Artosis.
I just
respect your stegosaurus
my brain is huge. I had to expand a little bit.
All right. He's sending the Hellions out now. This is a little bit risky, though, because there could be a window here of time where the Roaches just go out there and attack.
There's going to be 8 Roaches, and then Ling's rallying behind. He's serious. He's not joking around. There is a siege tank on the way. No bunkers anywhere.
The Hellions are going to try to go around, and this is where Jalizark's going to have to make a choice here. Do I defend? Do I attack?
Well, he has 14 Lings coming, so... And he's actually keeping a couple Roaches there. He just hit those Hellions. Took some health off him.
Now, even though the siege tank might be out, the siege mode is only halfway complete.
Yeah. But, you know, these...
The Hellions now going to check and try to get in here.
Jalizark not letting that happen. Looks like he wants to start going up this ramp.
He needs to raise the ramp.
And he raises the bunkers, and Jalizark's going to realize that this is not going to work out completely. He might do some damage.
When he was going to the depots, someone said he needs to raise the roof, and then I'm like, wait, that can't be right.
And here he goes.
In here, blocking the SCVs off.
A Baneling Nest is on the way. Jalizark is not going to stop Tasteless. Going after that siege tank.
And at this point in time, siege mode is essentially useless. Until he actually gets rid of all these Zerg units.
But it looks like he will.
Well done.
Yeah. And Jalizark is just making more Lings. His Baneling Nest is finishing. And we'll have to see what his next round is. If he stays on the Zerglings, that's going to be pretty wild. He's going to be extremely all in at that point. It is 22 SCVs to 20 drones, so he still can recover this into a normal game.
Got to be careful. Got to be careful.
That's
gets
round 1.
Gets 2. Gets 3.
And almost
now
there.
He gets 3.
There he goes.
And yeah.
Going after the mule. Wow, that mule is... Whoa!
That mule's a badass.
1 hit point mule.
That mule has piercings and tattoos.
God,
like,
Ryung...
You only live once. I'm like, you only live for a minute.
Ryung protected that mule like it was his last Horcrux, Tasteless.
Oh, that was his last... You're funny, Artosis. Splash damage actually destroying the Hellion. Well, in fairness, I think Ryung handled that rush very well.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Banelings are even going to be made here.
Well, yeah, I would say not. You know, he's droning up. He's already up to 40 against 32. He's getting his layers, getting a bunch of gases. Jalizark may just rush to Mutas from here because, you know, he's forced a lot of mech. He knows that the Marine upgrades are going to be a little bit slower than normal. And those are 2 scenarios in which you definitely want to rush to Mutas. So Jalizark really...
And, you know, one thing that's benefiting him for this is that Terran's going to expand again.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of area to defend.
That is going to be quite an area. In fact, he's probably not going to be able to really, truly expand, like get SCVs over there or anything for a while. It's a little bit dangerous. Stim is on the way. No engineering bay yet, just starting that right now. So he will have that up in time. And look at that, he is going to go for that expander early. That's why he's moving these tanks out. He's saying, all right. Place my stake in the sand, or my siege tank balance legs into the sand. Get their grip going. Because
we call them balance legs now?
Balance legs, man.
But they're the little
That's their technical term.
And they dig the little siege tank toes into the sand.
Yeah, man. They actually do. They got transformer feet, actually.
They do. We just zoomed in on one.
Yeah. You guys can't see it. Load up Starcraft 2, take a look.
Us.
Yeah.
Just like when we found out there's a wall around the entire map of Metalopolis, if you look at the corners of the map.
That's pretty wild. That was a life-changing moment.
That was.
Well, it's time for Ryung to get up there and expand. The Spire is about 2/3 of the way done.
Jalizark's going to have about a dozen Mutas coming out right away.
Yeah, he's really banked up a lot. He's very good at that because, you know, if you start off with 3-4 Mutas, which happens a lot of the time, then I mean, you fly in, there's like a turret, and you have to fly away, and then they build some more and put some Marines up there because they know you're building more. But if you fly in with 12, they don't actually know if you're going to make 12 mutas. They just don't know. They can't know. That's one of the beauties of Zerg. You can actually pool money for a bit, and it's not bad. 13 mutas on the way.
Jeez.
So he's actually going to fly in and wreak havoc, Tasteless.
And, you know, since Jalizer's been so roach heavy in some of these games and not muta heavy, he might not be prepared. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Terran moving out now.
Well, you know, he has Stim. Combat Shields is on the way. +1 is on the way. But this attack I don't like. If Jalizerg makes a big round of Zerglings and just hits with Zergling muta at the same time, it's going to work very well. Very, very well. In fact, he sees those mutas. You know, I think Ryung feels like he needs to hit this timing.
I'm surprised that Jalizerg went past him.
Yeah, I am actually very surprised that. It looks like he just wants to counterattack. But he's letting Ryung do insane damage to him at the moment.
What is Jalizerg doing? This doesn't even make any sense.
It's a weird call, but floating his mutas over the barracks to do a lot of damage. The thing is, he's going to lose his expand. He's going to lose all his tech because it's at the natural. I'm
actually so confused right now, Artosis.
Yeah, it was the wrong call by Jalizerg.
This is a big mistake.
He needed to crush that. You know, when Terran comes out with the timing push, you crush it. That's what you do. You can only counterattack if it's like really late game and you have other bases.
In fairness, he's over the production facilities. So he can kill Marines as they pop out, but...
Yeah, Spire's gone.
Yeah.
The expansion's gone. A ton of drones are gone. He's lost a lot of units. Eventually, the Marines popping out will stop those mutas. Eventually, he will turret push up to it. Eventually, he'll make a Thor. Eventually, something will happen, and the harass will be over, and Jalizerg will have lost the game.
I can't believe we received such an amateur mistake here from Jalizerg.
Yeah, it was a strange choice, for sure. And as his banelings die, Jalizerg's going to realize that he dies too. GG.
Wow, that game was bad. Got straight to the chase there. That game was bad. Ryung had this push. Jalizerg could have potentially held it.
Yeah.
And Jalizerg, like,
well, you got to try. You have to. I mean, whether he has Stim or not there, you have to look at that and identify, okay, he has one medevac with it. I have 13 mutas right here. 13 mutas isn't enough to take that out. If I have enough Zerglings, I might be able to. You stall a little bit with the mutas, flying back and forth. You group up all your Zerglings out on the map for one side of the flank, all your Zerglings inside your bases with the other side of the flank. You hit everything at once, and hopefully you crush the push.
Yeah.
Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he takes too much damage there to win. But he has to try it that way because what he did will never win. Unless somehow he pulls all of Ryung's attention. Maybe this is what he was counting on. Pulling all of Ryung's attention to the main and getting lucky banelings off. Maybe he's thinking that'll happen.
Maybe. That was just kind of a bad strategy. He like saw the Marines come in. He's like, "See ya, bro. I'll be right back." And like then his base gets destroyed.
He never came right back though.
He didn't.
He never did that. He said he was coming back. He didn't come back. You know how terrible that is? That's like taking your kid to the mall, put him in the play area, and be like, "I'll be right back," and then you move to Mexico.
That's what that's like.
That's serious business.
How could you do that? That's selfish.
It is. Well, next map is Belshire Beach. Quite a fine map for Zerg.
It is. We've seen Jalizerg before on this map break the stereotype of the way Zerg should play. He might try to mix it up again here. Then again, I think if you're up 2-0, you don't want to then bring it down to 2-2. Whatever he's going to do here, he's going to do what he thinks is best. On the map, Belshire Beach. Bring your little sand bucket thing so you can make some sand castles.
Well, you know, you say he'll do whatever he thinks best, but I think what he thinks best is decided by a bag of Dungeons & Dragons dice. He rolls the D6 to figure out which D20 to roll, and then he averages numbers together and writes it down on a piece of paper and does the math of what his Elven Warrior would do against a ghoul.
And that would actually be you as the Elven Warrior because you're an Elven Warrior kid.
I thought I was a Warlock.
You were a Warlock too.
And then it all ends up in him deciding, do I Baneling Bust, do I Roach All In, do I expand 4 times before a spawning pool? Who knows, man? It's Jalizerg. You can't predict him. Not even Miss Cleo with tarot cards can tell you what Jalizerg is going to do.
He's got it right there. Ryung against Jalizerg, head-to-head. Ryung winning that last game. He needs to win 2 more to do this. Jalizerg right now just needs to win 1 more game to